Alright, I have started the recording. And we are good to go. So, does anyone remember exactly what was going on? Or shall I do a full recap?
It's been a while.
It's been approximately a month, yes.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay, so I suppose I shall start at the beginning. Having gathered after some adventures on the road, the parties arrived in Celebre ready to begin to execute on the plan of getting all the stuff. In doing this, Rurik has infiltrated the enemy by taking a job as one of their bodyguards, while Barnabas infiltrated a different aspect of the enemy by disguising and replacing a Corlanthi ambassador. Meanwhile, let's see. Meanwhile, Evatala and Dasco have acquired a boat, and they are ready to set sail. Charles has located the hub of where the portals that are being used to create a fake interdimensional space are located. And I believe Remy is ready to move on that knowledge. The key to all of that is that you guys have figured out that a lot of the stuff that this caravan has been transporting has been kept in these magic rooms that were advertised as being extra-dimensional spaces. And what you've recently discovered is that the creator of these rooms, a rapscallion by the name of Belgrosh, of Belgrosh's Doors of Wonder, formerly Belgrosh's Scented Bottles, Belgrosh is a fraud. He is not creating extra-dimensional doors. He is creating doors that are sort of teleporting. And it's not clear why he's doing that, but or how he's doing that. What's clear is that he definitely doesn't understand what he's doing. So this is probably stolen technology. And yeah, and he's running a small sort of scam that you guys are going to try to make use of, it looks like. So, in terms of the layout of exactly where everyone is, so Barnabas, you are sort of in the wind right now because you're not expected to necessarily be anywhere. You do have your disguise as a Corlanthi ambassador still running full tilt. However, you could easily leave the embassy in the middle of the night, disguise yourself as someone else, and do whatever you want to do. So you've got that option open to you. Rurik, you are thoroughly embedded in the enemy camp, which is to say you're in a warehouse. The warehouse is surrounded by Crimson Guard, who are there to prevent you guys from sneaking treasure out of the warehouse. However, within the warehouse, you have the caravan, all of the carts, and all of the 28 guards, as well as the principal sort of executive leadership of the mining cooperative's little group here. Now, some members of that have gone. So Slifan and Edgar are both out on the town doing political things in the middle of the night. But still present is... Oh, and they're not the only ones, actually. At some point, also, the necromancer... what's his name? I just named it. Felsicor, the casino owner, has at some point left to go around the city, as did Jax. You guys, I guess, are still on comms with each other from a spell that Evatala had cast, so that hasn't worn out yet. So you would also be able to share the knowledge that through some talking to the dead, Charles has figured out that there is an additional necromancer that has not been introduced to any of you, but there is another necromancer in town. It's one of his former associates, and that person did at some point meet up at a bar with Jax and Felsicor. And also sent some 60-odd corpses stumbling into the sea. A few of which Charles managed to detonate. But yeah, so Rorik, you are behind enemy lines, so to speak. Now, if this issue with the doors is to be believed, as it currently stands, you are in a caravan that has numerous doors, which will link up to wherever this secret underground place is that the rooms are actually being kept.
Yeah.
One of those doors is also at the inn with the rest of the party, who are not about to head out. Evatala and Dasco, you guys, you're on their boat, but the boat's not going to leave anytime soon. So if you guys want to hop off that boat and join the party, you also have that option. And then, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Evatala was not on the boat, actually. Evatala was with Charles for the casting of the spell. That's right.
Right.
I'm ingratiating myself with the crew as much as possible. I'll lose as many games of liar's dice as I need to, in case we need a mutiny.
Excellent. The crew chuckles and mentions that they should when you get to Half Elven, they should introduce you to a particular cloth weaver there who makes excellent sales and loves to win at liar's dice. Okay.
Well, Evatala, I think, intends on going with Remy, wherever.
Okay. Well, that was going to be my next question, because Remy, I recall, has decided to head to Belgrash's Doors of Wonder Emporium to investigate. So, yeah, that is the question. Who's going with Remy? So, Evatala. Charles, are you going with Remy? All right, we'll circle back on that.
He just stepped away.
No worries.
Where's Remy heading?
Remy is heading to Belgrash's Doors of Wonder, which is the shop that sold the magic doors to Edgar Parrington for the use of shipping.
Yeah, and what's the proximity of the shop to the hole where the university used to be?
It is right on the edge of the hole.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Evatala makes a quick run to home to change into her best rogue outfit. And then meets up with Remy.
Alright. Alright, so you seemed quite excited that it was by the hole, so I'm guessing you have a plan on how to approach the situation. The hole itself is quite large. So I think...
I was going to walk.
Okay.
That was my plan.
No worries,
And,
then. You walk through the streets. Barnabas?
I was just going to say Barnabas would join as well. But my plan is to be in disguise, a different disguise.
Okay. Do you want to insert yourself now, or do you want to wait till you see somebody and then reveal that you were disguised as that person all along?
Ooh. Yeah, maybe we'll do that.
Alrighty. That's one of the cool things in your flashback powers that you can do. So.
Love it.
Okay. Despite it being quite late at night, there is a glow of light in the window that you can see from down the street as you approach. When I say that this is on the edge, I do mean like on the edge, like nearly teetering off the edge of the hole. And the hole is huge. This was not a single building. This was like a massive structure. That what they call the tower was in and of itself an entire university. And the hole is quite deep. It's very dangerous. No one's really sure what's at the bottom. But it is fenced off for safety. And of course, tourists quite like to go up to the fence and look through binoculars to see if they can spot tourists on the other side of the hole looking back. In terms of size, think of this as like it's the size of like a really big river, I guess, except that it's a circle. People on the other side look tiny. It's that kind of big.
Okay.
And down below, when you look down, it just descends into darkness. But it's not a smooth descent. There are like cracks in the rock all over the place. You can see from the light that while the shop's doors are closed and windows are shuttered, there do appear to be people inside moving about, casting shadows.
All right. I will look through a window.
Okay.
And see what they're doing.
Presumably you don't want to be seen?
Yep.
All right, toss a stealth check. Should be a cakewalk for you.
Does he get dad pips?
It is nighttime, so you definitely have that as an advantage.
Okay, so I get to do. It's my. Where's my? Okay, stealth. And is it agility or perception? Agility, I'm guessing.
Yeah, agility's a good rational one for that. You're trying to put yourself precisely in a place where you make neither sound nor a visible outline. If you have a dark cloak, the quality of that cloak could provide pips.
I don't think I do not have a dark cloak of any quality. Oops, wrong way.
Okay, that's good enough. So you approach. You don't think anybody's heard you. And looking inside, you can see there is a mining cooperative guard. One of the guards who you really thought was back where Rurik is. Rurik, if you do a quick check, you notice there's only about half as many guards in the area as there were previously. Yeah, but just that one guard, but in there with the guard is the owner of the establishment. The guard is just leaning against a wall, chilling, not really doing anything. The owner is pacing back and forth, talking to one of their sales reps. Seems like like a senior sales rep or something. They're having heated argument about just how much trouble they're in.
All right. Who's with me again? Viv?
Avatala, I think Barnabas.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And
Oh,
probably
I'm not there
Charles.
Or is this before we get there?
Yeah, Barnabas is gonna give you the old Gene Parmesan.
I love that reference.
So it's just Avatala then, I think.
Charles is probably with you. We'll see when he gets back.
What was that?
Oh, did you go with Remy? Remy was going to investigate the stuff you guys uncovered?
Yeah, to investigate the hole.
Alright, yeah. So you have the magic team with you. You got Charles and Evatala.
Sick.
Now, if you encounter somebody that is not from the Mining Cooperative's guards, it's quite reasonable that Barnabas is actually disguised as that person and has somehow infiltrated ahead of you guys. If you encounter one of the guards, it is quite possible that Rurik would have been able to, in a flashback, knock them out or somehow prevent them from going on this adventure before they got to leave the caravan.
Is that something
Yeah.
that I can deploy, or is this something that Remy has to deploy? As far
Since
as
you were
initiating
not
a
on the
flashback?
scene, it's something Remy would have to deploy
Gotcha.
to trigger you.
That's
Basically,
not
Remy would have
really
to get on comms and say, like, try and stop as many people as you can from coming over.
I'm fucking triggered, bro.
And then, of course, you'd have to figure out where you're going to hide their unconscious bodies.
Yeah, it's like he activated a fucking splinter cell. It's like dun 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 dun. Fucking have to fucking solid snake my shit. What's my stealth type? Let me check on that shit.
From what you can tell, Rurik, and you're feel free to report on this. Of the 28 guards, it looks like only 14 are still actually with you guarding.
Yeah, you did mention that half of
Yeah.
them were gone. I would like to investigate that.
Okay, so it looks like at some point somebody started gathering some stuff in one of the carts, including some of the doors from some of the other carts. They've been gathering them in the cart that has the various liquids in it. The wine,
their
spirits,
juice?
potions, ingredients, and explosives.
Their big boy juice.
The big boy juice. And they're teams of the guards have been carrying stuff, including, interestingly, a bunch of the chests that had been just sitting in the guard wagons to hold their gear and stuff. They've like emptied all their stuff out, and they're just carrying the empty chests into one of the wine doors.
So they're like doing shady shit.
Yep, they're doing shady shit, and there's now half as many of them on guard, which gives you some opportunity. The warehouse you're in has 13 wagons in it scattered around the place.
So I could feasibly like eliminate one by one.
You could start doing some stuff. Yeah, if you figure out where you wanted to keep them and play with their guard patterns, you could start reducing the number of guards that are there.
Okay, so in that case, is that something where I can sort of coordinate a distraction with the offsite team?
The offsite team is about to be very on-site at their own location.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it would be cool if we could coordinate our things so we could get the most out of sowing the chaos. Like, they can provide a distraction, and I can direct the distraction since I'm essentially like a chief officer for this security detail. Or maybe I'm just a grunt. I don't know how much of responsibility I've been given.
Not a huge amount. You've been left behind while they do this. So you're as far as they are considered, you're on guard duty to make sure that the Thieves Guild doesn't jump through the window and steal all their shit.
So I'm just a guard.
Yep.
It's okay.
Yeah, you're
that
not in a
case, okay,
position
so
to give orders. That's the one
Unless
thing.
unless I pretend I see some shit. In which case I'd be like, help, you know, oh, some shit's going down. You know.
Could do.
Because that's feasibly within the scope of my duties.
Yep. So meanwhile,
That's actually
back at
exactly the scope of my duties.
Meanwhile, back at the shop, Remy. Do you want to enter the building, or do you want to continue investigating around it?
Let's investigate around it before I try my horribly stupid entering plan.
Okay. Evatala, for reference, the location that you've zeroed in on as to where the giant pile of corpses is that you guys enchanted, it is below you. It's below the shop, but not like immediately below the shop. It's kind of far below the shop.
All right.
Like down the hole, kind of like
Down.
below the shop. Yeah.
So basically, we would have to descend into the cavern.
So I got a question, just a question of my own curiosity. If it's a hole that's like is it like a straight down hole? Are we talking like a well hole that's like super deep kind of a situation?
This hole was created by the magical vanishing of what was once a like gigantic elven tower school.
Yeah. No. I guess my point is like I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so is it traversable by a human being just to like like scale it by rope or something like that?
Not without severe risk. Climbing equipment would make it less risky, like ropes and stuff.
So given that, what I thought is that there's one of two possibilities. Either A, there's like a portal or a path. Like a safe path to get to.
Oh, I was just going to ask if Avatala could go home and buy some good climbing equipment.
Just get spider walking boots, you'll be fine.
Well, I mean, there's a whole bunch of portals. There's all the doors.
With but a single flashback power, you guys could already have had all that equipment ready to go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Also, the fact that if we really need to, we have magic people, so if we could just jump down the hole and feather fall it, if we really need to.
You make a connection with all those bodies down there, and you, like a swarm of ants, create a body ladder to get down. It's like World War Z.
Unfortunately, those bodies are trapped in a room that has no exit. As the exit was the door that you had used to trap them, and you closed the door to make your spell work. But the bodies are down there. It was a little bit of a distraction. Sorry, Remy. What was your decision there?
Okay, so I'm going to, investigate and look around, hopefully like an open window or something that I can hopefully hear what they're arguing about or whatever inside.
Okay. The shop's security is pretty good, so you don't find any windows that are open enough for you to get in, but you can definitely start to hear things that are going on. So you find a spot where you're able to listen in on the argument. The owner of the shop is trying to tell his lead sales guy that everything's fine. They can still do business as usual. The sales guy's saying, fine, we're screwed. The game is over here. We need to just take our money and skip town. If these guys found out that there's obviously going to be somebody else who finds out, we just got to get out of here.
All right.
I mean, that's your job done right there. Just follow those dumb fucks.
A lot of the arguments that Belgrosh is making about not leaving is are basically like these guys are just as criminal as we are. We just need to sit tight. Besides, we're not going anywhere while this guy's got his his weapons trained on us. We just sit tight, wait till they've done whatever it is they're doing down there, and then we make a few more sales before we take off.
All right. I think it's time for us to go knock on the door. Avatala, you've got to look extremely upset and mad at them because they ripped us off when we were trying out their doors for your shipping company.
Okay.
And we're gonna try to, we're gonna try to make them think that they stole the wrong thing from us.
Avatala did hear a word you said because she's already bawling.
Well, no, bawling, no, not sad. You gotta be angry.
She stopped barefoot and cried.
Listen, girl, I'm so fucking relatable because sometimes I get real mad, and when I'm real mad, sometimes I cry, and it's deeply upsetting because I'm like really super serious in that moment, but then I feel like a big fucking baby with like tears shimmering in my fucking eyes while I'm trying to make a really serious point. It's fucking terrible. It's super embarrassing. But fucking real.
All right. I will go pound on the door.
All right, so when you knock on the door, the conversation suddenly stops. There's some muffled sounds, and you hear footsteps of someone approaching. A little slot, a little window in the door kind of opens, and you see the owner peeking out from inside. Says, "Who's there?"
I'm here on behalf of the Hellfarian family. I need to know where our stuff is.
There's just a sound of tears behind.
He says, "Our regular business hours are between..."
Avatala just like smashes on the door as hard as she can.
Just like fucking wailing on it.
Okay, so he closes the gap and like opens the door, but he's opening it slowly a little bit. He looks like somebody who's being held hostage. Like there's somebody with like a weapon pointed at him that you can't see from behind the door that's telling him to just get rid of these people.
I'll start pushing on the door and try to barge it.
Us off. You ripped us off.
All right. Yeah, barge in. So you basically knock him over, pushing the door open. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, and you're in the room, and sure enough, there is the guard. He's one of the mining cooperative guards. He's got a sword drawn, pointed originally at Belgrosh, now at you, and he's going to lunge to attack.
All right. So, can I trigger a flashback?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So.
Perfect place to hit the pause button, bro.
Yeah. I think we need Rorik to go take out some guards that we don't need here anymore.
Okay.
Splinter cell activated. Let's fucking go. Do I need to roll anything? Or does he need to roll and then I roll?
Well, if you're going to be taking out a guard, then yeah, you're going to need to roll a little physical confrontation and narrate to me like how you're taking out this guy so that he doesn't show up to work or whatever it is you're doing. Now, one of the things to bear in mind is that the task that this guy has been assigned to, there are at least 13 other people that could have been assigned this task. So you may have your work cut out for you in thinning this herd.
Yeah, it would be a matter of gathering intelligence before, like, isolating the target.
Yeah, but if you thin it, they obviously have other things they need to be doing. So if you
Like
can,
at the same time.
if you thin out enough of them, then they won't assign somebody to guard this guy. They'll just, yeah.
Got it. So I need to create distractions and or eliminate people.
Yep.
All right. Chaos then. I'm gonna set something on fucking fire. That should do it.
Yeah, that'll definitely do it. What would you like to set on fire?
What's available? What's flammable?
I mean, in order from most flammable down, we've got a one of the magic doors leads to a room full of explosives. There's a variety of potions and ingredients, spirits, wine, but all that's a heavily trafficked area right now.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, you do have 7 carts full of just like bed linen for the beds. Each of those carts had.
Let's
4
go
guards
for the
sitting in it.
textiles. Let's go for the textiles. I feel like that shit would
Alright.
go up like a goddamn candlestick.
So you're gonna light up one of the carts or more than one?
My plan is to go basically in a spiral going out. So they get progressively further away and just basically make it so they have to spread out in order to address each issue. Think about it like Sea of Thieves, you know? You hit them on the deck, you hit them in the cannon, you hit the mast, you hit the helm, you hit everything. So basically, if I can hit like 1, 2 spots ideally, would be great.
Okay.
Of a fair distance apart from each other. That's the kind of targets I'm looking for.
Fortunately, with the modern invention of torches, flint, and steel and such, lighting fires is not difficult enough to require a roll. Doing so without anyone noticing it was you that lit it, that will require a little bit. With half of them distracted, you do have a chance to pull this off. You're going to need a stealth check with 3 successes.
Cool. So I don't want to necessarily crouch down or anything like that. Is there some kind of way that I can fasten or basically rig something where I'm sort of like passing by and I can strike my heel down with some flint on it to like catch a particular ignition point that's easy to like go away from quickly? I don't know.
You would have to spend some time rigging some of the sheets.
How much time do I have?
A lot.
Cool. I will spend the time then.
Okay.
Time
Developing
travel.
a good distraction sometimes takes time.
You went out for your lunch break.
Yeah, I'm gonna click my heels like fucking Dorothy, and this shit's gonna light up.
Okay, I'd say that using that technique then, it's going to be less about stealth and more about knowing the patrol patterns. So you could use your leadership as your...
Yes, oh
your
thank
stat
God.
There you go. There's the 3. Okay. You've created a distraction, and probably successfully blamed it on the Thieves Guild. So there is a response. So people want to get some buckets. The immediate problem to their getting buckets is that they need to get the water buckets from outside, and they are basically enclosed by Crimson Guard.
Perfect.
Crimson Guard doesn't want to let them out to get buckets, but will happily bring buckets in. They don't want to let the Crimson Guards in with the buckets. And at some point, if this doesn't get addressed, the whole building may just burn down. Who knows?
Okay, I'm gonna let it get a little bit bad before I suggest a relay line where there is a boundary. We just pass it through.
Okay.
I was like, okay, you guys stay on your side. We'll stay on this side. You hand the bucket here. Here's the middle, and we just pass it through. You know, like an old school Japanese fireman line. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Very good.
Only after it gets, a little spicy, Not so much that I will die, because I don't want to die in a fire in my own distraction, because that would be terrible.
All right. During the distraction, are you going to be taking anybody out, or are you just going to use this as a distraction to keep them busy?
I'm definitely going to take out as many guards as I can. How many are here? Only half of them?
There's 14 there, but
Cool.
The more you take out, the more they're going to have to pull from other things.
I'm trying to. I guess my question is like I'll give it my best shot and let's see how many I can kind of deal with.
Okay.
Hey, the fire also serves as a body dumping spot.
Yeah.
If you can take out 2 of them, then Remy will only be facing a single guard who will not be at a advantageous position behind the door. If you can take out 5 of them, then there won't be any guards there at all.
Good God, 5? Listen, I'm real strong. Okay, let's give it a shot.
So, who are you taking out first, and where are you going to hide them? Are you killing them or knocking them unconscious?
I think knocking them unconscious is definitely the route I want to go, if only because it creates this issue where I think that there's more going on with the Crimson Guard and increases the tension between those 2 groups.
Okay.
Foment some fucking tension here. Cool. Let me see my stats here. So basically it's what, like my melee, or I need to do this stealthily as well, yeah?
Yeah, probably the biggest key in all of this is not getting caught. But your melee will mostly come into play if somebody notices you're trying to knock them unconscious.
What about if I try trapping them?
All right.
With various obstacles. And so it makes it more difficult for them to, they can get more easily injured during the fire. I don't know.
All right, describe your trap.
You could trap them in their unconscious bodies.
I could trap them in their unconscious bodies. I like how you're thinking. I don't think I can take out 5. I will try for 3. We'll see how it goes.
Go for 5. I got you.
He can trigger flashbacks in your flashbacks.
That's true. It's a conception. Oh my God. Okay, so I guess my plan is to sort of try and isolate people. Like, if it's me and one other person being paired off to go handle a situation. It's hard to sort of orchestrate, I guess, the situation. Who's in the most senior position here?
The most senior position currently in there is your friend from the Demon Wars. Let me find her. There is Delia Lev.
Okay, she's the homie, and I don't know how bad I want to fuck her over just yet. I need her to not think that I'm the bad guy yet. So perhaps not her. Who else?
You expect that if you end up in a showdown with her, it's not going to be a simple, I hit you on the back of the head.
No, yeah, exactly. No, she's fucking a badass.
Yeah,
so
it's going to be
gonna
an epic
tango
battle for
with
the
her.
ages. If the two
Like,
of you
I'm
go
not
really
gonna
well.
tango with her for sure. Fuck that. Alright, so I find some dipshit. Let's go.
All right. So you find your first dipshit who you've he's running between the fires, trying to figure out what's going on, looking for orders. He's distracted by something shiny. Yeah. One success and unconscious he goes.
Cool.
This would be, I believe, a stealth check to not be noticed.
Stealth and what?
Probably stealth and vigor. You want to knock him unconscious, but you want to do it so quickly that he doesn't know it's you. You're not just trying to be stealthy from everyone else in the warehouse. You're also trying to be stealthy from the person you knock unconscious. Otherwise, when he wakes up, he's going to point his finger and say, "She did it!"
Alright, so I'm gonna basically, while he's distracted, kind of just like shift after him softly, and then like with the edge of my buckler, just like whap, just really like crack it on him.
Cool.
And I'm gonna use my fucking shield shit for that.
All right, get pips for your shield.
And I get pips, the number of quality of the item, right?
Yes.
Hang on a second, hang on. I have talents, hang on.
The irony here is that you're blaming this on the Thieves Guild, but this is exactly something the Thieves Guild would have loved to have had a heads up about beforehand so that they could use this distraction to go steal some shit.
Okay, so I have a skill that says go for the eyes. It says your extensive knowledge of anatomy gives you an edge in dealing damage. You may pay the cost of anatomist during combat to grant its bonus to any melee attacks. And the cost of anatomist is 1 medicine to do a +1 threshold bonus when treating a commonly encountered sentient species. So basically pay 1 medicine and then gain the threshold bonus. Because I know exactly where to fucking hit him.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Now, you only need the 1 success for this first guy.
Oh, maybe I will hold off then.
But
Yes, I'll hold off on
each
that.
successive person you try to take out, the number of successes needed will increase.
Yeah, so I'll save that then for now. Fuck yeah.
There you go. So that's 1 down. Next, you spot another guard. She's moving through, trying to make sure everybody's okay, which means she's distracted, looking under carts and just checking for thieves.
Same dealio.
This would be 2 successes. Well done.
Which is cool because I'm supposed to be a badass, so I'm glad this is working.
Dodging between
Yeah,
carts, you notice that somebody is about to go and spot the first body. which is an excellent opportunity for you to sneak up behind them, but they'll be on alert. 3 successes needed to take out this next person.
Cool. The question is, do I use my go for the eyes now or later? I can use it twice.
It's up to you.
I'll go for it just to ensure the first condition, which is a reduced threat to Chris.
You've already achieved that. So Chris is now operating at a reduced threat.
Oh, cool.
But if you take out 3 more, then Chris will be operating at no threat whatsoever.
I'm going to keep rolling without the threshold bonus for now.
Oh, and if you fail?
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Glad you succeeded there before I told you the consequences. If you fail, then the person will notice you and will identify you when they wake up.
Cool.
Alrighty, so that's 3 with no issues so far. The next one's on high alert. This is going to be hard to sneak up on. They're alone. No one will notice that they go missing, but they are looking around. They're worried.
Yeah, in this case, this is what I'll start.
You need
cashing in
4
my
successes to make this one.
Can I have access to demolitionist candlestick maker powers, even though we
Yes.
don't have a candlestick maker with this purpose?
100%. Yeah.
All right.
Troy is here in spirit.
How do I apply the threshold bonus that's granted?
Put
It
a
says-
T and then the number of the threshold into your command. So
Be
like
T5.
.f d4 t5 p6. There you go. That's 4 down. Now, how you're going to get 5 successes, I'm not sure.
Impossible.
If you could pull it off, you could have Chris facing no resistance whatsoever.
I'm gonna have to. It's mathematically impossible, so I'm not gonna attempt it.
What happens if you with the 5th one just go, if they're isolated, just go straight up and murder them, like without trying to be
Incapacitate them.
unidentified? Yeah.
Yeah, you could always try and find some other way.
There's another necromancer here. I'm not fucking playing. They could just straight up resurrect this motherfucker and be like, yeah, who fucking killed you? Like, that's within the realm of possibility.
If people were more distracted, would it lower the threshold for her?
Potentially. What do you have in mind?
Another explosion.
Yeah, that'll do it.
All right, so I will call in Troy.
Right on.
Text this.
I will go ahead and take control of Troy for the moment and say that he will rig a piece of the roof to collapse. Its supports will just dissolve into sand. It'll totally look like it's part of the fire until a much deeper forensic investigation takes place, which may not even happen. All right, Jackie, not only has the collapsing roof isolated another person, but it's distracted them, resetting your roll back down to 1. You need 1 more success.
Fucking
Nailed it.
flawless victory.
Flawless victory. All right. So, Remy, You burst through the door, knocking the guy over. There was no one at the other side. It's just him and his sales rep. There's nobody else there. No guards.
I am a goddamn animal. Ah!
Yeah, all I can think of is like all of the Captain Carter scenes.
Just murking motherfuckers.
Well, Avatar is going to, like, because we knocked this guy to the ground after barging through. Correct.
Yeah.
So Avatar is just going to, like, dive down, scream in his face, "You ripped us off! How could you do that?" In between tears.
In a panic, he freezes up. He doesn't want to hurt a customer. He doesn't want to be hurt. He's just not sure what to do. So he's just like, ah! And he's on the ground, kind of panicked with you on top of him. His sales rep just backs up into a corner of the room with his hands up. Like,
All right. Where are our chests of holding? We had about 20 chests of holding of various gems. We put them in your door, and they're gone. We know the door goes somewhere. Where are they? We get them back. There's no problem. We don't tell anyone, and we get a 10% cut of all your profits.
oh, nice. I like that 10% cut. That's a really good...
Incredible.
Take a pip to this next roll just for that alone. So make a persuasion check on this guy. This is a nice mix of intimidation and persuasion. Not sure which what stat you want to use on this. Obviously not propriety.
Can I roll like persuasion to add extra assistance?
Absolutely.
All right, I'll roll persuasion, and
He's actually going to be rolling his trade because he's applying his business sense to this proposition.
All right, that's 7 successes to assist.
God damn.
what aptitude is this going to be?
Are you trying to threaten him with violence, or are you threatening him with consequences?
Consequences.
So probably cunning, maybe
Perfect.
empathy.
Definitely cunning.
There's a lot of power in telling somebody that they're fucking fucked forever if they don't play by your rules.
So I get a pip for my 10%, you said, and then I get pips from Evitalia also?
Yes.
Is that right? How many pips?
Looks
Huh.
like
A crap
7.
ton.
I get all 7 from her?
Fuck. Hell yeah.
Whew, buried that roll. Let's see how...
Domination. Novus Uther fucking loves us tonight. We're crushing it.
Yeah, and I guess I'll be in the background waiting just in case that something goes awry.
Absolutely nobody has noticed you at the scene.
He's got his ear to the ground. They're like, "What you doing, buddy?" He's like, "Listening to dead rats."
All right, it's a stalemate. You've definitely impacted this guy's decision-making process, but you haven't gotten him to reveal basically what you wanted to reveal, which is the path down to the stuff. So he immediately catches on that 10% and rolls back and says, "Hey, you're not going to roll me like some kind of chump. Like, I know how these things work. If your chests are down there, and I'm not saying they are, because I'm not saying you ever put them in your door. I'm not admitting to anything, but I can find whatever it is you put in there, and that won't be any problems with that."
Do I need to make some persuasions? I can obviously do that.
Yeah,
I like look
go for
over there. I want to cast this. I want to cast a necromantic spell. I want to basically rip the life force out of his assistant to know that we're mean business.
All right, you're going to make a potentially lethal attack on his assistant using magic.
Hell yeah, let's fucking go! Like, it's just a severe escalation. It's like, you're fucking with the wrong person, motherfucker, if you thought this was a negotiation. Snatch your soul, bitch!
This is some dogs in the vineyard shit.
So I do have the trait morbid. So if I can use that to get advantage on this spellcasting.
You're also using necromancy, like that gives you advantage as well. Is your intention to kill the guy, or is your intention just to scare the shit out of these people?
Well, I do need a soul for my thing, so like this just works in both directions. Yeah.
It's multi-purpose.
All right, so you're trying to kill the guy.
Yeah.
All right, so you're basically trying to deal damage to him. It's a necromantic type of damage, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's like basically like the drain life spell.
Yeah, basically. So all right, let's figure out what circle of a spell is that. How many dice are you trying to put on the table? Oh wait, do you have improvisation?
I do not. I have education. I do not have improvisation.
Oh, okay.
Maybe just a direct non-touch damage thing. It would just be like, it's not really at range. But I guess the goal here really is like intimidate. The killing the guy seems like a happy happenstance.
I mean, if the goal is to intimidate, then this is just probably going to work, but you won't necessarily kill him. You're just going to severely damage him. If the goal is to kill him, then we definitely need to do this as a classic combat.
Yeah, but I mean, a classic spell at this point is just like pretty much the only thing applying to it is range, right? So it's just a ranged attack, like, which is what, like difficulty 2? You don't have improvisation?
Yeah.
So it's 2, and then any extra dice past that, or just however much it deals with, right?
Okay, so
So you got to bid 2 to succeed, and then whatever else you got, you can bid to do whatever you want. So you could bid that damage, you could bid it to like make it look horrifying, you could do whatever you want to do there.
Cool.
All right, so I get 5 from necromancy. I have let's see, focus for 3, and then let's see, probably some kind of what's it called? A scholarship. So 3 plus 3 is 6 plus 5 is 11 dice.
So I think you're going to get the 2 successes. But we'll see here.
Yeah, and since I have not actually got to use this yet, since I finally got my perception at 3, I'm going to tax my perception by 3, and I'm going to add what's it called omniscience to the scene to decrease my threshold by 2. Which is, I think, threshold 4.
Yep.
Yep.
And I do not. And I think I can spend just without a soul. I can spend tax on my necklace. Yeah, my watch, which should give me 5 pips, I think, because it was at 5 at the time before I spent it.
Yes, yeah, it's a focus item for your magic, right?
Yeah. It just gets super powerful when I add a soul to it.
DS come first. P and T can come in order.
All right, so narrate the murder of this poor person.
It's like fucking. He turns on omniscience. It's like boom. Holy shit. Holy fuck.
I like to imagine that they didn't even like notice that there is a like necromancer dwarf just standing there at the doorway as the chaos went on, and then suddenly their soul gets sucked out.
Just like the main guys just all worry, but all of a sudden they just hear like something like a bit of a choking out, and he looks over and it's like his assistant's on his knees as like literally a version of himself is like being dragged out as it like sort of like it as it trails along, it goes into a small pocket watch of and a gnome closes it and he goes like, so did you want to rephrase what you were saying there?
And to think that he was worried about the half-elf on top of him and the human that knocked him over. Yeah, he sees that, and we're going to, in addition to the death of his employee, which you now have recharged your pocket watch. So Chris, you have now succeeded your intimidation. Because that's all the extra dice you needed.
And I'll be right back. My son woke up.
I apologize. I didn't realize we were dealing with things on that level, sir. Of course, I will happily show you where your treasure is.
Waterworks immediately switch off.
Since we're business partners, you're going to show us how this whole thing works now, too.
Of course, sir. Absolutely.
Holy fuck. Guys, are we bad people?
No.
I mean, Tice is pretty bad.
Yeah.
He's a murderous necromancer.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, you didn't murder anyone. You just knocked him out.
Charles and Evatal are definitively, Adaska are all definitively bad. The rest...
Unethical.
The rest, eh.
I've just been playing dress up this whole time.
Speaking of which, you may actually be showing up shortly. We'll see. So,
Please don't tell us Barnabas was the salesman.
Fortunately, Barnabas gets to make that decision.
Yeah, I figured you guys were having so much fun dispensing of these people. I didn't want to come in as any of them, so I let you have your way.
Well, it'd be a bit weird if you came as the shop owner.
All right, so he basically explains that when he opened his potion shop, he found this hole in the basement floor that just led down into this cavern. And because it was right next to the hole, he figured maybe there was some leftover magic shit that might have fallen down in the hole or something. And so, yeah, he went exploring down there, and he came upon some stuff. And he goes into the basement, he opens up the cellar door, and shows you this just kind of crack, where it looks like just poor craftsmanship in making the house, combined with weather and rain runoff, just eventually eroded enough to open up a spot that a person can just barely squeeze through. So he's, says we have to go down one at a time. There's only space for one. Do you want to go first?
Like we have to go down single file, or only one person is able to go down and has to come back up?
No, actually, it's more like single fire. It's a hole. Only one person can squeeze through the hole at a time, but once you get through the hole, it opens up on the other side.
In that case,
I'll go first, and then he can come.
Yeah.
And then Charles and Evatala.
Evatala will go third, clutching her wretch.
And then Charles can follow us.
All right, Remy, you go through first. You find a pair of dwarves waiting. These are not with the mining cooperative. They're probably guards that the owner of the establishment set down here. One or more of them may or may not be Barnabas. There's only the two, but they're coming at you because you're not a recognized person.
Yeah, definitely going to have Barnabas step in here if I can.
So one of them starts coming at you and then is hit over the head by the other one. I presume. I don't know.
Totally. Either that or I could just vouch for these guys, but then we have to deal with this person being here. So, like...
Can I just kick the shop owner through the floor? Or through the hole?
The what?
Well, once Remy is down there, yeah.
Once Remy's down there, I just, like, shove him through the hole.
Okay.
That way we keep Barnabas in our back pocket of it.
He's going to allow that because you've got this gnome that apparently eats souls with you. Barnabas, what was your action?
Sorry, I didn't understand what just happened, actually.
I think you just hit it. I think they decided that, yes, you did hit that guy in the back of the head.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I had a cast iron pan with me, just knocked him right out.
All right, so Remy, you come down to find Barnabas waiting for you with an unconscious dwarven bodyguard lying at his feet, and yeah.
Who wants breakfast?
Good to see you.
Not me. I'm already full.
Belgosh, he's in comments. I knew there was something fishy about how easy it was to hire you at last minute. So how long have you guys been planning to set me up?
I look at what I imagine is just like some magically inclined watch and say, about 5 minutes.
New gang in town, are you? All right. 10%'s fair. 10%'s fair.
I'm starting to think about 50%.
Well, for 50%, you're going to need to deal with
15, I think she said, but...
For 15%, you're probably going to need to deal with the mining cooperative guys down there.
Oh, our good friends.
The cave winds down. This is... It does have lots of, sort of wear and tear, but it's mostly from rainwater that's just poured down through this crack under the influences of gravity. It's slippery. There's not a lot of good handholds. But every now and then, you come to a place where, through a little crack in the wall, you can actually see a little bit of the giant pit that this little cave runs next to. At first, there's also a little glimpse of starlight from above, but after a few minutes of going down, what cracks you see in the wall only show you the moonlight reflecting off the opposite side of the pit. torches are out by this point, as it's the only way to see by, and you're noticing in the torchlight there are some bodies. Dead bodies, long dead, too. Not, I mean, like, centuries dead, but probably, like, a couple years dead. He comments as you walk
shit you
past
find
them.
on Everest, yeah?
Yeah, that, and also, he says, yeah, like, there were some monsters down here that had to be cleaned out. Fortunately, you only have to pay the survivors.
Wow. No compensation for the family, huh?
He sort of snickers and goes, what family? I don't know who any of these people are. He's not a nice person.
Neither are we.
How many bodies are there on the ground?
In the end, you count 12. They mostly appear to be between 1 to 2 years dead.
So are they like husky? The little husky boys?
Yeah, they're kind of pretty skeletal.
Like emaciated, really. Like if there's any skin on them, it's real like sunken. And...
Well, and this isn't exactly like a preserved environment. Like
yeah, it's
insects
like
have been able to get in and feast, so it's
okay.
mostly
So
skeletal.
It's bones. Tight.
Bones,
Some
yeah.
rattle boys.
All right, because I would like to I like to summon a skeleton crew to help us with getting rid of these guys down there.
What
I think
What-
the only guys that are down there are the dead guys.
No,
There's some mining-
Oh no, there's more. Or that's right, mining co-op. That's right. By all means, create your half dozen force there.
what are the mining co-op guys doing down here? Are they on to you also?
Yeah, they figured me out before they even met me, and they just barged right in, threatened my life, much like you did, but they didn't actually kill any of my people, he sort of says grudgingly. No offense, of course. Certainly I'd do a similar thing in your spot, I'm sure. Yeah, they came on down here and told me not to worry about it, and to just stay up there and not let anybody in. So, you know, they're going to be mad at me.
How many of them are there?
He scratched his head. He's like, 3, I think? You know that to not be the case, but he doesn't necessarily, since it looks like most of them came through a door. So it looks like maybe only 3 of them came here to unlock the door from the other side. But yeah, your inside knowledge from Rurik, you know that there's going to be a lot more than 3 down there when you get there. Belgarash has only seen 3 of them come through.
So yeah, having a little backup army will help us just in case there's quite a bit of a crowd down there.
All right. If you're using the spell skeleton crew that you learned, this crew is going to not be super combat proficient. They're going to really know how to work the riggings on sails. Since you're summoning them to not a boat, they will not be as effective as if you were to just try and raise probably 1 or 2 as actual undead minions. It's up to you, though. If you do skeleton crew, you'll get all of them. And they'll be good, like, fodder to get in the way of people.
Yeah, I'll just summon them as fodder as part of it, because yeah, like even zombies themselves, like even if like they don't have usually proficiency in combat and stuff, they just know how to like claw and scratch and stuff. So just having like a dozen like poorly adapted zombies should help turn the tide.
Okay, so yeah, you'll go ahead and cast that. And had you prepared it as a spell, or is it just a spell you know? Actually, do you know how to do memorization? Yes, you do. You have memorization. Good. Yeah. So have you memorized it as a spell, or prepared it as a spell?
I know it's in my not one of my Necronomicones.
Looks like it could be a...
Yeah, so it's a spell you know. It's in your spell book, which means you can cast it. You can either roll to cast it, or because that's what your esoteric education gives you. But your esoteric memorization would mean that if you took the time to prepare it beforehand, that then you could cast it without having to roll. A guaranteed success in casting. Memorization is awesome for that.
Ah, I see.
And where in the character sheet did we plan to put things like memorize spells? Were we treating those as inventory items?
Yeah, you can do that if you want. I mean, yeah, there's no specific place because, I mean, I have no idea how you memorize your spells. It can be dependent on all sorts of different talent things.
For the talent of esoteric memorization, basically it's creates an item that's inside your body, part of the energy of your body that you can trigger at any time. There's a limit to how many of them you can have prepared, but that limit's pretty forgiving when you have 5 in your casting skill. Here, let's just look up memorization real quick. So you can memorize a number of ranks of spells equal to twice your relevant potential, which means you can have up to 10 ranks of spells. So what rank is that spell?
It's rank 3.
Okay. So you definitely could have that one memorized.
Yeah, because I know that. Yeah, what was it? Raise crew. Spell shells for also for a ship as well. I think the toolkit's the only other one that I have that like is really relevant in like our non-ship areas.
Yeah, I think inventory makes the most sense over here on the left. So you just put in the names of the spells and then the number of times you've memorized them, and you just need to make sure that they don't exceed 10 total ranks. So if like a rank 3, if you memorize it 3 times, that's 9 total. So that would be the sort of limit to that. But you have other stuff. You see the numbers to the left that you can indicate how many. So if you wanted to do that, like raise crew twice, you could just put a 2 right there.
You can just put it in notes as well. But yeah, it's up to you. The sheet.
All right. So yeah, if you use one of your memorized raised crews right now, then you don't need to roll for it, and you get the crew.
Sure, yeah.
All right. So the 12, to the horror of the continued horror, I should say, of the proprietor of this establishment, the 12 deceased adventurers that he had sent down to clear out the area under his establishment have gotten them back up, and their skeletal remains have formed up and are ready to pull on the rigging of a boat that isn't here. All right. Remy, you can hear that there's definitely a lot of activity up ahead. The people who are down here are not being quiet. They have no expectation that anyone else is around. So there, you hear the barking of orders. You know, put that here, load that up. Heave ho, guys! We're on the clock.
Heave ho, like a rigging?
Nope, not like a rigging.
Oh, damn it.
But you do hear the clink of coin.
All right, can I go quietly peek around the corner?
Yep. Peeking around the corner, you see a kind of long hall with it's actually looks kind of man-made, sort of suspicious here. One end of it just opens up into the pit. The other end extends down to where you see some flashing lights and where the noise is definitely coming from. The hallway is pretty open. There's not a lot of places to hide in it, but there's also not a lot of light at the moment. Slinking along it, you come upon a room that is full of boxes floating in the air. These boxes appear to be made of stone. They appear to be about 300 feet by 50 feet by 12 feet. And they are not suspended of their own accord, but are encased in these blue sort of force fields that are being projected by objects that are placed underneath them and to the sides of them, along the walls and floor. One of them, in you can see, has some tampering done to the device under it. There seems to be less glow there, and there's a hole in the bottom of it that people are pushing things through. Those things seem to include chests of gold.
Pushing things into the hole or out of the hole?
At the moment, they seem to be pushing things into the hole.
So they're pushing things from into that big floating box.
Yep. There's a pile of other stuff on the ground under the box that looks like they may have already taken out of the box. That pile includes a few doors that seem to be just lying on the floor.
This is how they're really planning on moving this shit.
How many people are there?
Let's see, -5. 9. There are 9 people there. I'm sorry, there are 9 guards, and there are 3 other people that are not guards. So, yeah, total of 12 people there. Slifan is there, as is Jax and Felsicor. And then there are 9 remaining, unless you're about to do something else, there are 9 remaining guards from the mining cooperative.
Who, Jack, Stefan, and Felskar, who are these people again?
Felsikar owned the casino that you guys caused a ruckus in. Jax was Barnabas's sort of sworn mortal enemy that you guys framed for murder. And Slifan is Edgar Parrington's right-hand man. He's like his chief operations officer. He's a stealthy, sneaky, bribery kind of guy. Kind of like a cross, actually, between you and Evatala, just with like super moody darkness, edgelord kind of thing going on.
Gotcha.
He's got a Kingdom Hearts thing going on.
All right. I'll go back to the proprietor guy real quick. And what are these big floating boxes?
It's like, those are the rooms. Got to be careful, of course. Each one had some kind of monster inside. But I found if I, paid some adventurers to open one up, dealt with the monster, then we could set up the doors and, and sell them. See, each one of these needed a way in and out. So whoever had this menagerie set up, they had these doors to get in and out. And yeah, you just you hide most of the doors. Give the adventurers one of them. Make sure they're down here where they can't make too much of a mess. I liked there's a room further down the hall. It was a good one to set up the door in. And then once whatever the monster that was in the cage is dealt with, you clean up the mess, hose it down, a little bit of scrubbing, some fresh air. I've got some great potions for fresh air.
Any of these doors not been cleared yet?
Oh yeah, I've only managed to clear maybe 20 or so. I think. He scratched his head. I'd have to go check my books.
So
Can any door act? Go ahead.
Skelly's open doors. Skelly's run towards mining cooperatives.
Can any of the doors open any of the rooms?
No. You gotta match them up.
Are they already matched, or do you have to match them, or can you match them on the fly?
I mean, I spent years trying to figure out which ones go where. It's I didn't invent this stuff. I just dug it up.
Okay, so they're pre-matched.
And sometimes you get lucky. A couple of them we opened up and the critter was already dead.
And the little blue power source that's making them float, are these the same little balls that used to power the doors?
No, I got no idea how those things work. I'm actually kind of worried they managed to turn one off. Because I don't know if they just keep the critters out or if they also keep it in the air. I never figured that out. But what I figured was, since you can't break out of the places, right? Because as long as that blue stuff has got its force field going on, the magic makes it so you can't break out of the cage. Otherwise, some of these things would have used their disintegration rays or whatever to push the way out. As he mentions disintegration ray, your eye catches the withered husk of what was once an eye stalk of probably a beholder.
Fuck.
So yeah, whoever these mages were, man, they knew how to contain their menagerie. But anyway, since you can't get out, no one knows the wiser if they're, in my basement or in the astral plane. So it's harmless, right? And certainly worth your 10, and he glances at the top. 15%.
Don't let this motherfucker
20.
push you in one of these, yeah.
I believe we agreed on 20.
Look, you got me by the balls right now, but sooner or later you're going to have to deal with them. So negotiate all you want. Obviously your little friend over there can kill me. Okay. I can't do anything about that. But if you don't get them off my lawn, then what does it matter? He's like, and you know what? If it looks like you're going to try something, I'll just start shouting anyway. Looks like you don't want their attention right now. I should have figured they'd bring more people through. I just didn't think you could turn those things off. Now, Rurik, you're on the other side of this. Are you letting things get calm, or are you maintaining the chaos?
I guess it just depends on what the team needs from now. I hadn't really thought about, because I feel like if there's too much shit, like the likelihood of me getting caught is way higher.
Yes.
So I'm gonna chill.
Okay. As things get more under control,
You can keep going.
Harold, don't.
You can keep going.
You're the boss.
What I was going to suggest was that this would be a perfect time for the Thieves Guild to have scrambled together a team that requires some people to go back through to handle. Which, so they're guarding against the Thieves Guild, right?
Yeah.
Who
Yes.
want to, storm the place. If we make sure that the Thieves Guild has a team, either through, by passing information through one of our contacts with them, that can storm at our signal. And this is mostly a Dasco thing, I think. We can force some of them to go back through the door, at least onto the other side, so you don't have to deal with all of them at once.
Dasco does have the good contacts.
So are you trying to basically trigger the raid on the weapons?
Basically, yes. That, Dasco could go and say that he's heard that, they're going to be short on guards at this amount of time.
Interestingly, I think the last encounter Dasco had with the Thieves Guild, he was encouraging them not to attack because he was going to embarrass them tomorrow at the court case. And get everybody pointing fingers at each other about the Bennington.
Well, the Red Guard can attack.
I mean, I'm totally happy to tell the Thieves Guild something if we want to. I mean, I have good contacts with them. I'm totally happy to leak information to them as long as it's not true. I absolutely refuse to tell them something that is accurate.
Well, I mean, this will be technically accurate. They're short on guards at the moment. And that's because they figured out a new way of siphoning all the stuff out.
Okay, I'll relay that. I'll relay that information to the Thieves Guild.
Okay.
Please give them the green light to, not fuck me up.
They know all of the people that are with me, and you guys are all, yeah.
Tight. I'm on the whitelist.
All right. Thieves Guild thanks you for the information. And Rurik, you almost immediately see a response as some shadows that were moving amongst the firelight in the ceiling start moving a little differently.
I tell them they need to keep an eye on that Applied Thaumaturgy Guild. Stuff's just getting out of hand. Some guy's got doors, and he uses it to keep people's stuff. Then he can reach in and steal their stuff. It's just a brilliant idea.
Alrighty. So it looks like the people below are not going to be able to get reinforcements anytime soon. The Thieves Guild, though, they don't advance with force. They advance with stealth. So they're trying to use the opportunity to sneak in and get stuff. Notably, however, they might be trying to get some of the stuff that you guys wanted to steal. So,
Well,
yeah.
That's why we have somebody in there to blow the alarm.
Ah, right. So, Rurik, are you going to immediately start pointing out the thieves that you suspect are coming in from the rafters through that hole that your druid made in the ceiling?
Yep.
All right. They start gathering up. The important wagons were at the middle anyway, so they bring their perimeter back a little bit and set up a new perimeter to try and guard what they think are the important wagons. Meanwhile, it does seem like some of the crew that was in the door is starting to come out of one of the wine rooms with chests full of gold. These are gold coins, whereas previously all the gold you'd seen was in bars and ingots. It looks like they filled up the chests that they were using for like their clothes and stuff that they had emptied out before going down, and then you use their clothes to start some fires. They have filled up those chests with gold and have brought them back out here to the warehouse instead of secreting them away to the docks.
Wait, so that's happening in the warehouse that's
In
on
the
fire,
warehouse,
or okay?
Now these people are totally confused as to why the warehouse is on fire, so they're putting down their chests and yeah, starting to help the defensive position. Remy, you're seeing a reduction in the number of people that are down there. So you're down to only about 5 guards and the 3, and the 3 are getting word now that the fires and the Thieves Guild attacks are going on, and so they leave just the remaining 5 to finish organizing stuff down here, and then they head up. The remaining 5, it looks like, are starting to set up one of the frames so they can use a door from down here.
All right, we'll send in the Skellies, I think.
Send in the Skelly boys.
We got so they're working around the proximity of a door.
Yeah,
like they're all clustered up.
So they're underneath one of the floating boxes, which has a hole in the bottom of it now. And underneath that box, they have a pile of stuff. They've got some doors that they've brought down, and it looks like they're setting up a frame to be able to put those doors in to use, so that they can access a door from here.
All right, perfect. So I need to tap. I need Dasco. I need explosives because we are about to have 12 skeletal suicide bombers. And
We
and
are
some throwing
hardcore
knives just in case.
Dasco, what kind of explosives will you be getting for, or have you already gotten for Remy, I should say?
I think to give him the wand of explosive, the box of fireball wands, but then I realized that they're fake. So then I go and I'll head off to the. I head off to some contacts in the Thieves Guild and ask them and say, hey, we're interested in some high explosive stuff. Do you have any contacts I might connect with? I also consider whether or not I have access. Have I ever had access to the vault thing where all this stuff is being kept? There's a shitload of high explosives there.
There's a shitload of them, and they might just be in one of those 3 doors that are down there already. But no, you haven't had access to them.
Okay. I mean, so my interest would be in this is good. This it's coming together. It's coming together. Okay, so a few days ago, I made contact with one of the mining cooperative guys that's going to be at the courts, and I said, hey, I've got some information that might be useful to you. I know a lot of people are trying to take your stuff. Yeah, and I mean, I'm a businessman. Don't like people taking my stuff. It sets a bad precedent. Particularly with a powerful guild like you, if the government can just come in and take your stuff, I mean, if they can do it to you, they can do it to anybody. So I just want to give you a heads up. Like, there's some inspectors that are going to be going in there, particularly some inspectors from the Crimson Guard, and there's some, and I use finger quotes, some inspectors from the Thieves Guild that are probably already in there, and so that stuff is yours pretty much. They can argue and stuff like that, but I think you have a pretty good case in court. But the Crimson Guard is going to be really, really, really concerned, and you're going to kind of make your case for them if you have weapons of destruction down there. Now, I know you've got a ton of powder down there. I mean, that's par for the course. You're the mining club. It's what you do. But if I don't know, if you maybe throw a bit of business my way in the future, I might be able to take some of that off your hands for you. Cover it up, make it not so bad on you in the court case. It's just powder. It's basically worthless anyway.
He scratches his head. It's heavy too. I could use something light. You got something light to trade?
I say, well, I'll tell you what. I'll do it for a favor. Just for a favor. I happen to have a crew of workmen. We can come down there, take a couple of barrels off, maybe a cart worth, get rid of it, and just get rid of it for you completely. Labor's free. I might contact you later and just see how things are going.
Yeah, but then what do I get? I mean, you're getting my explosives, but I need something in exchange.
Well, I mean, you get a better case in court, so they don't take everything that you have. That's like, but you drive a hard bargain, friend. You drive a hard bargain, very hard bargain. I say, I happen to have this box of, well, and I set it down, and it's got the mark of the wands of fireballs, because they all were wands of fireballs at some point. I happen to come across this box. You're going to need explosives wherever you're going, I assume. This would be a pretty good trade for some heavy powder.
Hey,
I mean, I don't really want to part with these. I mean, these are expensive material, right? So
they don't exactly have a reputation for reliability, but it's definitely lighter and easier to carry. And we don't know what the mines are going to be like in Korloth. Alrighty. I think you got yourself a deal, sir.
I say, I look sadly at the box and say, it took a lot to come by that box. I say, all right. I'll put these down. Make sure you have someone magically inclined that can use them. They're a bit finicky, as I'm sure you know. And I'll have my work crew go and handle it. And so I just have the sailors go and I say, hey, we're going to unload some barrels. And I don't know. We just take as much smoke, like just smoke powder, as they'll let us take before I feel like they're going to discover that the wands are fake and flip out on us. So.
Okay, so you get like a few barrels of it's blasting powder. It's not gunpowder, but it's the stuff that they would use to clear mines. In some ways, it's better. In some ways, it's worse than gunpowder, just depending on your purpose.
I mean, it's good for explosions, right? That's what it's for. Okay.
It's good for shaking up the rock so that it turns from solid into gravel. All right, Remy, you have some packets, some satchel charges, basically, of mining grade gunpowder. Or mining grade explosive powder that from what you've described, it sounds like you're going to be inserting into the rib cages of these skeletons.
Yep.
Tice, you're becoming your friend. Look at you, commanding zombies or skeletons with explosives inside them.
Biting off the other guy's style.
Yup.
Can't argue with a good idea. I think Tice was AFK.
Okay,
Just
no
got
worries.
back.
No, I'm back. I was just thinking, but yeah. Well, the only problem with stuffing them with explosive, like regular zombies with explosives, is that they're usually hard to use more than once. You won't have once they explode. They're just you have to like set up a ritual again. You bring them back.
All right. Yeah.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
I was just gonna start sending them in waves to go take care of the 5 guards.
Okay. There's 12 of them in total. How many do you want to send in at a time?
Guards are clustered up, right?
Yep, they're trying to build a doorway.
We'll do. They're stupid, aren't they? The skeletons.
I'm sure they can be moved in a formation.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, the magic that's bound them is designed for them to coordinate in the operation of a ship.
So we just have to convince them that this is a ship.
Yep. So if you
Pirates!
tell them to work together to pull on the rigging, and then tell them that those 5 guards are the rigging, they'll go over there and pull on them.
Mathing is hard. I'm just sending all 12 of them to pull on the rigging, which is the people.
Now, can we keep 4 of them back at least, just in case a whole bunch of guards come flying through?
I was thinking
I mean, parts of the guards might come flying through.
I was thinking about sending them in waves of 3 because there's 4 waves.
Yeah, let's go.
Tice is the one in control, so what's your plan, Tice? You sending all 12 in? Or are you going to follow Remy's plan?
Well, they were like not real big expense to me, so just send them all in.
All right, 12 explosive-laden zombies go in. Remy, a member of your team did just disobey the plan. That's a little disconcerting. You might want to think on that or do something about it. The further they drift from your plan, the more tenuous your control on the situation becomes.
Wait, you just sent all 12?
He did.
Yep.
Just cause he felt like just to do it for funsies.
Okay.
Right.
So they're heading over there. When do you want to detonate, and what's your method for detonating the explosive? We don't need to roll. Once you detonate these explosives, those 5 dudes are gone. There's no surviving this. If they were player characters, I'd roll for it, but yeah, this is just... It's such an obscene pile of dice that the chances of one of them surviving is negligible.
How am I blowing them up?
Are you? That's
Charles.
my question. And
Yeah, I
how
thought
are
you were
blowing
asking
them up?
Tice. So.
Because right now what you've got is you've got some satchel charges, taped on the or roped to the rib cages of some skeletons.
Do you have like a fireball or anything like that, Avatar?
I can just make up what I want to make up.
Oh, cool, tight, yeah.
Improvisation.
So we don't have like a fancy detonator or anything. It's just like basically bags of gunpowder tied to skeletons.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the skeletons aren't even really fighters. They're just going to run over there and hug these guys and like yank on them as though they were the rigging of a ship.
I mean, honestly, a lit up arrow, a fire arrow will do it.
Well, I don't have a bow. Or anything fiery.
Can you not shoot lasers out of your hands?
So that's what I'm going to have to do. We're going to be doing magic detonation.
Alrighty.
She does finger guns and fucking 2 beams of hot fire. Shoot straight out.
Pew, pew.
Pew pew, indeed, yeah.
Yeah, lighting something on fire is one of the simplest magical tricks that they ever teach you. It's you need 1 success on your improvisation roll, and that's only because I can't ask you for half a success.
Okay. So just be on the safe side. It's by magic plus what again? It's been too long. Assuming I could add it to crime because we are definitely committing murder right now.
Oh yes, this is the murderiest thing. They do cut a couple of the skeletons down with swords, and it looks like they're starting to reach for. Yeah, they're starting to reach for their potions on their belts. When an explosion rocks the tunnel, several of the blue glowing mechanisms on the floor are disintegrated and snuffed out, and the sort of giant, and we are talking about a giant stone, about like 300 feet long, 50 feet wide, 12 feet tall. It's huge, made of stone, and it is no longer suspended in the air and comes crashing down on top of them.
Oh, it's bad. For them.
And it's not the only one.
So a bunch come down?
3 come down in total. And one of them cracks open. So the first one that lands, it just lands with a swish. Another one lands on top of it, and the impact cracks it. And inside are the pile of corpses you guys had left. And then another one comes down on top of that, cracks, and you hear a hissing from inside of it, and a bestial roar.
Hell yeah!
And that's where we're going to leave off for tonight.
Well, we're going to have cheese.
Do we have enough blasting powder for me to hold on to a couple of satchel charges?
I mean, you managed to get some barrels of the stuff, so yeah, I'm sure you have plenty to outfit even more zombies and such.
All right, so I'm going to hold on to some satchel charges.
Okay.
All right. I like to give one to to Jackie for her fireproof plan. Or I would say foolproof, but it involved a lot of fire. While she decided to go Captain Carter on everyone and like take everyone out with their shields. I'd like to give one to Eben for getting us in there with using the Rav's character's favorite specialty of being overly dramatic. I like to give one to Echelon for being able to get us those gunpowder barrels. And of course, Rav for your amazing dramatization. It's like sometimes it feels like it's like listening to a K-pop, no a Korean drama. I want to give one to Shifty for I don't know. Shifty's characters. Which one was Shifty's character?
Gene Parmesan.
Yeah, for the Gene Parmesan, and that is everyone.
I'll go ahead and go. Chris points for triggering this like ripple effect of flashbacks that have made us into incredible badasses yet again. For Ed, your Thieves Guild Connect is pretty critical in making sure like the maximum amount of bullshit is happening, so that we can pull our plan off. Evatala, 10 out of 10, would listen to you cry about customer support again before a man dies. Kristen, for your being ready with your disguise to help the team get through these tunnels that they're currently in. And to Tice for just snatching that man's fucking soul right in front of his boss. Good shit. Can you imagine being an underpaid retail worker and then just one day you're in a fucking guy's gym?
I think it's a pocket watch, actually.
Oh, pocket watch? Cool, yeah, yeah.
I mean, could you imagine working retail and having an angry customer suck the soul out of you?
Yeah.
Yes,
I
I
can't
could.
imagine that, yeah.
Every day.
Every goddamn day.
Okay. Captain, for just dispatching people with extreme prejudice. Echelon for your way with words and always coming out on top of the deal, getting us the explosives for some fake wands. Rav for taking the smallest bit of direction and turning it into 7 pips of acting. Shifty for having breakfast ready for us. And, just saving me from getting skewered. And Tice, thanks for you're gonna get points for giving me something else to deal with now. Thank you. I'm gonna have to think about this, but 12 is not 3, but you get experience for it anyways.
All right, I'll go. Point to Tice for disobeying orders in the name of lighting more stuff up, or really making sure that they're lit up dead. Point to Kristen for just bonking a dwarf on the head and make us not have to worry about him. And just constantly just shifting between disguises. Point to Ed for gain the thief skill to keep more of them up in the warehouse, while also provide with us with the explosives necessary to make a lot of unfortunate skeletons go boom. Point to Chris for finally leading from the front in a rather than just manipulate from behind. This time you actually got to take control and carry out a plan. And point to Jackie for stealth rocking around the warehouse.
Muscle can be stealth. Just gotta hit them hard enough that they never see you.
Yeah, so to Jackie for just one of those kind of teleporting from person to person brutality sprees. I thought that was just
Some Assassin's Creed shit, dude.
yeah, right. Chris is just basically always like you're in every scene. I've decided that you're basically in every scene, even if we're not aware that you're in that scene. Either in the background or the foreground. Potentially, we're just talking to you sometimes. Tice for persuading that guy to be our business partner, and then Chris for referring to him as business partner immediately after his apprentice was just like brutally murdered in front of him. And then Vivian for your awesome Karen impersonation. I think you need to take there's a talent called like I need to speak to your I need to speak to your manager. Like you totally should have that talent. You should probably have that talent by now anyway, just because you continuously just escalate, just dramatically escalate, which is awesome. I thought you would like throw him off guard and everything would work out, and then he was just like, yeah, well, I don't know if I'm going to give you 10%. And then like Tice sucked the guy's soul out. He's like, yeah, 10%, 10%. I got you.
I just looked up. I want to speak to the manager. That's a great skill. Great talent. This is fantastic. It's a hybrid skill. It's a mix of leadership and persuasion. Yeah.
All right, I will go next. To Ed for early on in the game, planting the seed of mutiny and just always trying to just drum up mischief. Tice for the apprentice takedown with that epic roll. Jackie, the dipshit hunter. That was an epic scene. I can't believe you were able to take them all out. Chris, after staking things out, just deciding to just knock on the door and just go in. And then we just completely just ruined that guy's entire operation. And Viv for the tears of anger. That was just hilarious. And I think that was everyone on my end.
Has everyone had a chance to give that experience? All right, looks like it. Cool. Thank you, everybody, and leaving on that cliffhanger, but we'll deal with whatever that beast may be on our next session. Thank you, and I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording for tonight.